Luckily, there are some members of the right wing who are honest actors, and surprisingly, Chris Wallace has been one of them when it comes to his opinions and his commentary on the impeachment investigation. Now, today, there were two individuals who testified in the impeachment hearings. We had acting ambassador to Ukraine, William Taylor, and Deputy Assistant Secretary of State, George Kent. Now, both individuals had damning testimony, but get a load of how Chris Wallace reacted to Bill Taylor's testimony on Fox News.
I think that William Taylor was a very impressive witness and was very damaging to the president. First of all, as you pointed out, he took very copious notes at almost every conversation. When he put quotes in his opening statement, he said those were direct quotes from what was said. It also doesn't hurt that he has a voice like Edward R. Murrow, so he's a pretty impressive presence up there, and I think very non-political. He went out of his way to talk about what he knew, what he was specifically testament to. The only thing he talked about was a strong feeling that it was in the U.S. national security interests to support Ukraine in the fight against Russia, but he certainly wasn't taking any partisan position.
So Chris Wallace knows it, I know it, the American people know it. Bill Taylor has a voice like butter. I'm glad that Wallace also agrees with me on that. But no, look.
See, I told you they were fair and balanced.
See, no, but look, his read of Bill Taylor's testimony was spot on because it was damaging to Donald Trump. He did go out of his way to be nonpartisan. He did not want to make this political. He did not answer questions posed by Democratic lawmakers who clearly, wanted to go further than Bill Taylor could go in making assumptions about, let's say, intent and things like that. But Bill Taylor stuck to the facts, and he also provided additional evidence that we didn't know about before, including a conversation that one of his staffers overheard between Donald Trump and Gordon Sondland. In that conversation, Donald Trump asked about the investigation into the Bidens, and Gordon Sondland made it clear that Ukraine was planning to move forward with announcing those investigations.
I'm so glad that Roger Ailes was fired and doesn't run Fox News anymore. He passed away after that, but he was fired anyway. And so it's not because Fox doesn't do absurd things to defend Trump and Republicans. They do. During the testimony, they kept putting up graphics that were all like crazy Republican and Trump talking points. In fact, I'll read you three of them. All three. There's no balance or any of that. October 23rd, President Trump dismissed Taylor as a never Trumper. Okay, but you're Fox News. So is he a never Trumper? Or did he actually work for the Trump administration, right? So, but they put that up there. White House called Taylor's closed door testimony triple hearsay. Okay, but what was it? Was it actually triple hearsay? All right, and the last one was, GOP says Taylor had no firsthand knowledge about Ukraine aid. Okay, so don't get me wrong, they're still over the top, and they're still giant fans of Donald Trump overall. But Ailes would not have tolerated any dissent. He would just let Shep say something once or twice a year on things that were not overly important. Now we have dissent breaking out all over. Napolitano, Shep Smith is gone, but Chris Wallace, that's one of their heavyweights. And he just keeps coming on TV and going, sorry, that's a crime. And the squirrels aren't working. Those guys are totally credible. They appear to be telling the truth. And that's seeping into the Fox audience a little bit, but I think it can make a big, big difference.
Well, it is interesting to see members of the right speak out against Trump as long as they're not elected officials, right? Because if we're talking about elected officials, that's a whole new ballgame. These are people who are worried about their political careers, and they're gonna go ahead and ride the Trump wave until, in their minds, the electorate or Trump's base decides to turn on him, but Trump's base is not gonna turn on him. Now, these impeachment hearings might change things, but I really don't have a lot of hope for Trump's base, right? Because all Trump needs to do is say, no, it's fake news. These people are never Trumpers. And they'll go ahead and believe it, right? Because it's easier for them to brush it off. I'm not saying that these hearings shouldn't happen, they should happen. And look, there's a portion that is undecided and they don't identify as hardcore avid Trumpers. So those are the people that need to be persuaded. I'm just saying that, the Republican lawmakers are not gonna speak out against Trump unless they're gonna retire or they're not looking to get reelected.
No, I get all that, but look, in terms of the polling, there's 28% of the country totally immovable. It's a fool's errand to try to get their votes, get their support, et cetera. It's not gonna happen. But that leaves 72%. And of that, already half are not only against Trump, they've been against Trump for a long, long time, not from day one, but for a long time. But they now say, yeah, impeach and remove from office. So we already have 50%. We know the 28% can't be moved. So the battlefield is just that 22%. That's it. But though for that 22%, that's everything. Like in a rational, sane democracy, you wouldn't need that 22%. You just need a couple more points and he's done, right? But that's not the world we live in. You almost have to get every non-deplorable to be able to get Trump out.
So let's move on to the second part of what Wallace had to say about Taylor's testimony. In fact, he brings up specifics in regard to the damning evidence against Trump.
I thought the two most important parts of his testimony were his recounting, and this is new news, July 26. He says he has found out since he testified before the committee in closed doors that Gordon Sondland, who was really kind of the point person between President Trump and the Ukrainians, much more so than Taylor was, who never actually talked to the president, was on the phone in a restaurant in Ukraine with the president on July 26th, the day after the Trump-Zelensky phone call, and that he could overhear, the staff member for Taylor could overhear the president saying, what about the investigations? So clearly the investigations, and by that Taylor thought the investigations into the Democrats in 2016, also the investigation into Biden, that was very much on the president's mind. And then the aide asked Sondland what the president thought about Ukraine, and this is a quote from the Taylor statement. Ambassador Sondland responded that President Trump cares more about the investigations of Biden, which Giuliani was pressing for. He was asked, cared about it more than, and Taylor said Ukraine.
Yeah, so look guys, the facts are crystal clear, even Chris Wallace acknowledging it. Obviously all he cared about was investigating his political opponent. So this is a debate between all rational people who see the facts perfectly clearly and an insane asylum. It's like you go into an insane asylum like, okay, who wants to debate politics? Probably a lot of them do. Okay, have fun. But what's important about Chris Wallace is he's inside the asylum and he has a little bit of trust inside the asylum. So the patients are looking around going, oh, wait, is that true? I heard it was triple hearsay, right? I was told that I was supposed to look at squirrels. What happened, right?
Yeah.
And so the fact that he's able to speak inside the asylum, I think might make a little bit of a difference. Thanks for watching The Young Turks, really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.